giggle, giggle, giggle. Giggle, giggle, giggle. Giggle, 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 giggle. Giggle, giggle. I got giggles. You know, like right. This is General Business Hub. Did you get it? Did you get them tape notes? Because we have background sounds. But not only that, we have a general business hub right there. And this is extending on and on and on. And we got the background sound going on. But that's okay, because we'll roll on. Rolling on. Rolling on. I'm working on it. Can you see? Can you see that contraption? Yeah, that contraption. Can you see that contraption? That contraption is an inline wheel that runs a turbine. Yeah, so that way when you're sucking water up from the sea out into the desert, yeah, so when you're sucking the sea out into the desert, you run these wheels that run these turbines to go uphill one-way piping. Use your ocean current on fan. So that way the tide goes in, the tide comes out, the tide goes in, the tide comes out. And it don't matter which way the tide's going, the fan's running. Fans running this way, fans running this way, fans running this way, fans running this way. And as it runs, it pumps the pump that sucks the dirty seawater in. Sends it up over the hill and down into the desert. You know, and then as it goes down, it turns these turbines. Or as it goes through a property owner's property, they get a percentage. So what they do is they get a wheel in the line on the property that's connected to a generator. And as the water flows through, they get free electricity for letting the pipeline. I'm sure they're probably let me talk, will you already? Quit curling my hair, dazzling me, trazzling me, making me feel all weird. I'm giving up my giggling secrets. That's an ability, that's an enhancement, creative ability. You creatively enhancing your brain like far sight, so you can look at here and then see there, and look here and see there. It's almost perfected. Sometimes it's misjudging, and sometimes there's glamour that goes in front of the glamour, and body. It's a fun body to be in. Because we got giggles and laughter in a book that some people don't understand, but if used to take an understanding to the likeness of it, especially when you're bunny hopping batteries together to make a big battery, not simply old batteries. So you can do it on a Duracell and a D-cell. You can do it on a D-cell, or you can do it on another cell kind of deal. The other one. Or 12 volts, like car batteries and such. But next thing you know, you got a pump that's running and it's pushing this fluid. This fluid I call it reflux fluid, because neither does it freeze nor does it take very much to boil. So it takes a lot to freeze and very little boil. And it fluctuates, so you can fluctuate the fluid. You can go from hot to cold, and it will expand and condense every time, expand and condense. And it's made in 3 parts, unknown parts. It's made of 1 part alcohol, 1 part hemp oil, and 1 part water. 3 parts. 3 parts of 100% of each. And then thoroughly mix it, and then fill your pipe up, and then that way you can run a pump through it like a hydraulic fluid, but a little better. So you can throw it through there, and then it spins, and it spins a gear, and then the faster you flow the fluid, the faster the dang energy, the faster the generator, the faster the wheel, the wheel, I'm talking about the wheel in line of the pipe. So the water goes in, it catches some ribs, and it rolls right and it shoots back out like that. And then that's attached to a gear like this here. And then this gear runs, it makes the bigger wheel turn, and it turns another wheel to make a big wheel turn even faster. One of them gear ratios work. I know, I've seen it in the clocks. So you make a gearbox with a gear ratio that makes the clock spin 1 part really, really, really fast. And do that, and then you got a very good generative. So if you was to put a little gear on a big wheel that's magnetic, that generates the wheel, It's copper magnets and copper, and they swish around back around, and it collects energy, and there you go. You have power. Alright, well, now that you have this an excess amount of seawater that's being cleansed by the sun and vaporization, and then it produces power on the way, and then you have the actual plant where the power is being created by the steam that's being produced by the desert and the sun, and all its vitalities to clean and vaporize and destroy any foreign living particles, and eventually living particles, and turns it into an empty body, and then we bring it over, and then it goes down into mineral stones, and it's electrified by the gold and silver rods, and then there's a blue light, and then it churns through the rocks, That way it's a continuously moving body of water as it churns through. It's being electrified and imploded on the mineral stones. At the same time, the body of water underneath is cold, and it helps condense the steam as it's being flushed down into the mineral stone itself. Oh, did we get all that? I think we got it all. I'm getting better at following along what's being said and what's being, and it's kind of cool if I can stay on track long enough to get it out. That's when I wrote a lot of this stuff down in books. And what I'm going to do is transfer it all into the video, and then hopefully I'll earn something or another for giving up the ideas, even if somebody was to come along and say, oh, that's a good idea, and they produced that part. That would just make the rest of it so much easier putting it together if somebody else was to see a part that they would like to make and sell, that's practical, and readable. That would be cool if they was to, further support me in other ideas. And I think that's how this is going to work, because I don't know what to charge or whatever, so I'm just going to let you give me what you want. And I ain't going to ask for it or, whatever. I mean, whatever's the common thought, and, we'll leave that common thought up to the thinkers. And, so this month I'm celebrating Turkey Day. I mean, that's for Thanksgiving, not Thanks-taking. No big pun intended. But how it goes. Life is liberty and justice for all. And do a little less taking, a little more giving. Guess what? The world is ticking, and we're beaming into space. And that's where we really want to end up, because then we can really be merry and multiply. Like the plan, we can multiply into space. Look at my original thinking. Because I was thinking, there's like several different ways and many different materials that we could put the Garden Dome home as the earth, working nature, working with man, and man working with nature. That's the intended idea, right? For man to be the caretakers of the garden. Man was supposed to take care of the garden, and they was supposed to take care of the animals. But then man started treating animals bad, so the animals started biting back. Yeah, but look at, what do you think that could be? It seems like ooh, now that could be an interesting idea. You recognize that? It's the most beautiful thing I've I've ever witnessed in my entire life was automatic energy. And a bagged peach tree. Yeah, 'cause I want to grow peaches on Mars, man. Okay, I got an idea for underwater aeroplanes. Underwater aeroplanes to go faster than boats on top of the water. Oh, look at that one. You know, but the thing is, I've already showed you all this, so all you have to do is take a look back in the younger of my history and videos, and you'll see all the cool little designs and stuff. What I really want to talk about was clean air. You know, I've been having these water purifying things, right? Now, it's not water purifying things, but air that's bubbling through water. You know, but you know that stuff that grows on top of ponds, on freshwater ponds. You know, it's like green and yellow, and then it extends down into the water, and you know, well, I found out that stuff lives on carbon. You know, the same stuff that we breathe out. Can you imagine that at the plant in the water? You know, but generally it grows from carbon that's, you know, like waste in the water. Not like waste, but like trees and dead fish and, you know, things like that on that matter. You know, and so what I was thinking was putting it all in a nice big glass bubble, and then putting a certain amount of white sand in there, you know, and then have an air filter that creates little bubbles, you know, and then we just suck the air out of the general breathing, of the general living space of the garden dome home, down into this big glass bubble, you know, and then have the air bubble through the sand, and then it'll bubble through the green mossy seaweed, fresh water. We used to call it pond scum, but it'd grow nice and thick, and all these little gaseous bubbles be popping up, and I learned that was oxygen. So, if we take our breath, you know, and pump it into there, and when we're living in our breathing space, and we're breathing, and we're in containment, you know, and we're breathing, and then that breath can be sucked out and down into the glass bubble with the moss, and it'll feed the moss, and then the bubbles will bubble out oxygen, and then we take that and we further filter it over into the garden, right? And then we take and put a glass bowl, and then have a line going in it from the garden that sucks the air in, and then it goes through the water, and then it goes over here and bubbles up, you know, and then that air is further vented into our breathing area again, so it's recycled, you know. The air is recycled through the system, through the garden, and then, but not only is it's filtered through water, so that way any of the pollinations that are downstairs, you know, in the garden area, would be water filtered out and pumped back down into the garden main water, where it's live fish in the basement well, you know, which then you'd pump water up through the middle of the garden and let it fall back down in the middle on some rocks and stuff. That, I mean, if we're gonna keep it stable, we might as well do it do a cool lake and have a waterfall that goes down into a well. I wish I could find a desert, you know, that people would fund and build. That's why, you know, if I could find a big old piece of property in the desert, then I could find somebody with some more money, or I could do it myself. But either way, I'll be back after these moments.